Welcome to Pod Save America. I'm John Favreau.
I'm Sam Sanders.
I'm John Lovett.
Tommy Vitor.
I'm Dan Pfeiffer.
We got a very big show for you today. Sam Sanders is here to join us for the news. Sam is the host of the brand new culture podcast Into It and the podcast Vibe Check.
Yes.
On Vox. So Sam, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So good to have you back.
It's always awesome to be here.
We'll also be talking about the midterms with one of our all-time favorite senators and friends of the pod, Elizabeth Warren. We also figured the show wouldn't be complete without an EGOT winner. So John Legend is here to talk about some of the criminal justice initiatives he's been working on. And later we'll be facing off with the hosts of Crooked's Gen Z podcast, Dare We Say, in a game that's designed to make us feel old. One more big announcement. We are recording this episode at the SiriusXM studios in LA right now because every weekend from now until the midterm elections, Crooked Media will be taking over the Progress channel on SiriusXM Radio. We're calling it Crooked Radio.
Presenting Crooked Radio. Sorry. I accidentally said Ladio. Let me start over. Presenting Crooked Radio.
Do you think that works?
Did that work? Let's keep it in.
I don't know how much more we could have expected from Crooked Ladio.
I think we got everything out of it that we could.
It's this is our first time on the Ladio.
Anyway, look for Crooked Radio on your satellite radio dial. You can listen to Pod Save America and all of your favorite Crooked Media podcasts. And before we start, you can probably tell we have an audience in the house today. These are volunteers from Vote Save America. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for with us. They have been canvassing and phone banking, and you should too. Everyone at home, if you haven't already, please remember to sign up at votesaveamerica.com. It is not too late. This is when we need your help the most. votesaveamerica.com. All right, let's get to the news. The January 6th committee postponed this week's season. The January 6th committee postponed this week's season premiere of Insurrection because of Hurricane Ian. But there's still plenty of news to discuss. We weren't going to let a January 6th hearing go, because it was postponed. We're still going to talk about it. Plenty of ongoing threats to democracy from Donald Trump and his goon squad. We learned that the committee has footage of longtime Trump advisor and convicted criminal Roger Stone threatening violence and plotting to overturn the election. Let's take a listen.
Let's just hope we're celebrating.
Yeah.
I really do suspect it will still be up in the air. But when that happens, the key thing to do is to claim victory. Possession is 9/10 of the law. No, we won. You. Sorry, over. We won. Yeah. You're wrong. You. The violence. The voting. Let's get right to the violence. Shoot to kill. See an Antifa? Shoot to kill. Come. Done with this bullshit.
It's real third act Tony Montana vibes. Just like, we'll go to war. I'll take down the whole cartel. You know.
Tommy,
fucking piles of coke.
Tommy, where does Roger Stone fit into the case that the committee's trying to make about January 6th?
So we do know that from the Cassidy Hutchinson testimony that on January 5th, Trump told Mark Meadows to ask Roger Stone and Michael Flynn, another sort of sociopath who's lost touch with reality, what was going to happen the next day. So Trump seemed to think that Stone had some special, unique insight that he wanted to know as president of the United States. We also know that Mark Meadows, then chief of staff, called Roger Stone, called Flynn the evening of the 5th, considered going over to their little makeshift war room with Steve Bannon at the Willard Hotel. And the Oath Keepers, a white nationalist, racist, fringe militia group, was providing security for Roger Stone. They were later very much involved in the violence. So long story short, Roger Stone, as we saw, is sort of planning this little coup out loud. He was actively seeking out violence and talking directly to Trump. So it seems like they're weaving that all together.
Sam, what else do we know about what the committee is planning to focus on when we do have this next hearing? And what are some of the big decisions that they still have to make before they wrap this thing up?
I mean, I don't know. I just hope that they focus on this Roger Stone foolishness. It seems like this is a game changer because now we know that Trump can't claim as if he didn't expect violence. One of his top advisors, one of his really good friends, was hoping for violence and saying, let's get violent. And he was in conversation with Donald Trump the day before. So if I were them, I would just take that home every day. right? Yeah. What else can you really talk about?
Yeah, and I think they can probably decide if they're going to subpoena Trump or subpoena Mike Pence and say, all right, now you have to tell us your conversations with Stone, or subpoena members of Congress and get that more information.
But is it in their best interest to get Trump on a stand? Because he
really tell the truth.
He will just spin around in circles and find new tangents to distract us and point over there and say, look over there, and then they all will. I'm not sure it makes sense for them to have Trump.
Sure.
But like, would it help their case? But like,
no,
would it
yeah,
help their case?
I know.
You know,
it's about ratings, right? Viewers.
Ratings-wise, maybe.
Do you think also they should put up on the screen the giant back tattoo of Richard Nixon's face that Roger Stone has?
It is like, I do wonder at some point if all of
choice.
this is like diminishing marginal returns, because it's like we do also know that Trump wanted violence after Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony, when she was like, oh yeah, he was like, don't use the mags for people coming in with weapons to January 6th because they're not going to hurt us anyway.
Yeah. I feel like, they're not going to change any minds. I don't think Trump will ever see true punishment, but I do think that they can keep it top of mind. Keep it top of mind. Make sure people know that this is still a big deal. I think the problem for the whole party now is that people are forgetting about the things that Dems want to talk about, and they're talking about what Abbott and DeSantis want to talk about. And so how do you direct attention to this bullshit?
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, Dan, the other big decision that the committee is going to have to make is do they send a criminal referral to the Justice Department after they wrap things up? How much does that matter at this point, since it seems like Merrick Garland and DOJ are finally on the case?
Well, I would say that a official criminal referral from Congress has the same legal force as my last tweet.
Which is strong.
Which is saying a lot.
Right. There's a lot of people on
short,
Twitter who believe that they are federal prosecutors. that their tweets are important, and the juries will see them.
I mean,
so something to think about.
It has no force of law. It's not going to make Merrick Garland more likely to prosecute Trump. I think of it maybe like as a polite nudge. There was a fear at the beginning of this process when there was a lot of reporting on this debate within the committee about whether they do it or not, that it would somehow make Merrick Garland less likely to pursue a case because it would seem like it was political pressure on Trump. But Merrick Garland already has like 9 cases going against Trump right now. So I don't think this matters one bit at all, either in terms of whether Trump actually gets charged with a crime or whether we can judge this committee as a success. I think it's kind of a distraction or red herring.
His dance card's pretty full at this point with Trump crimes.
Yeah. And he's not a fast moving fellow, that Merrick Garland. He's very methodical. Takes his time.
I've just stopped expecting anything to happen to Trump. I think like the only thing that these committee hearings can do is make sure we keep thinking about what he did. But I don't see any of these cases putting him inside of a jail. I don't see any of these cases making him pay for any crimes.
I mean, I think you could end up with an indictment, but what I'm afraid of, I don't think an indictment would stop him from running for president. In fact, I think that would just sort of get him, speed up the process.
Get his support even more strong behind
Get the juices flowing.
In every great movie about like a hostage situation, there's always the outside plot and the inside plot. It's too boring to just have the people on the outside trying to get the people stuck on the inside out. So you have there's always like the hostage is trying to get out from inside and they got a scheme going, and then the people on the outside are trying to get them out too. I see it that way.
Who's Bruce Willis?
Yeah, give us the who's who in this.
Is this Ransom? Like what movie we're talking about here?
It could be Ransom. Remember Ransom?
I've never seen Ransom. What is
Gary Sinise, Mel Gibson before?
Was there a before?
He probably was always like that. He probably was always like that.
Before
No doubt.
knew.
No doubt.
Before we knew.
Yeah.
Before we knew.
Anyway,
but the point is, I don't know. There are things we can control. We think we can't. I think we have to act as if. I think that anyone who has been waiting for the Justice Department or the judicial process to save us or save democracy, have been disappointed continuously. So I think we can wake up. I don't want to predict. We can wake up pleasantly surprised. Crazier things have happened than Donald Trump being frog marched down Fifth Avenue in handcuffs. But it's too nice to think about. So we have to actually beat them.
You know who hasn't been waiting around? The Senate. How about that?
Yeah.
The Senate.
Nice.
The Senate.
John wanted a reaction there.
What a segue. Look
at that. Guys.
That's why
why
he gets. That's why the big chair.
It's not even on the iPad. It's not even on the iPad. They look like they are about to pass bipartisan legislation to prevent the next coup from happening, thanks to resistance hero Mitch McConnell, who has announced his support for the electoral
and Joe Manchin.
See, to me, this is a bigger deal.
And Joe Manchin.
Yeah, our two heroes. They return, unite for one last heist.
So McConnell basically said that he announced his support for the Electoral Count Act reform over the strenuous objections of Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley, and most of the House Republicans who tried to overturn the last election. Tommy, what are the highlights of this bill?
You want some highlights?
I would love some highlights.
I'll give you some highlights.
Insurrectionists hate this one weird trick. Sorry, go on.
So, as you probably all can recall, Trump's sort of theory of the case legally was that the vice president basically had carte blanche authority to overturn the results of the election. This bill would spell out, that the vice president's role is strictly ceremonial, and it would change the number of members of the House or the Senate that need to object to a state's electors for that to go forward. So it's a big deal. And it also sort of closes the loophole that would allow governors and state legislatures to just overturn the results of the election on their own.
Yeah, I mean, it basically what it does with that is there's a judicial process involved. So like no governor or state legislature on their own can decide to just overturn an election, send their own slate of electors. Like there has to be judicial review. Yeah. So
and it like ups the threshold for Congress to oppose the results.
Yeah,
right. So
yeah, it's like either 1/3 or a fifth is I think what's been debated.
And like that for me is the big deal. Like that's bigger than whatever the January 6th committee does. This is like honest bipartisan work to make sure that won't happen again. And I don't know. I don't want to be like thanks, Mitch, but this is a big deal.
I agree.
I was gonna say, I think it's great, and so many Democrats are so excited about solving the vice presidential problem until you remind them that Kamala Harris is the vice president.
Which just to remind some people.
Where is she?
I do worry a little bit that we're fighting the last war, not the next
100%.
war. I worry a little about putting first of all, if they want to pursue their, whatever they call it, their legislative supremacy argument, they will take it to the Supreme Court and claim this law is unconstitutional. I still think it's absolutely worth doing, but I don't think it should give us any kind of comfort that they won't find a way to manipulate the system. I mean, this is a set of rules to try to make law what were just sort of assumptions, that certain things weren't politicized, certain ways of manipulating the system just weren't done. And I think part of the reason you have Republicans coming on board with this in the Senate is they would like that. They would like to not feel as though some of the things that they're being told is a decision. They want to go back to before when they didn't have to feel as though they were paying a political price simply for certifying election. And fine, hopefully that works. But this is about power, and the only way we can really stop them is preventing Republicans from being in positions of power to break the law, deny the outcomes of elections, and no law from Congress can do everything. I think it's a good thing. I think it's worth doing, but I don't think it should give us false comfort.
I sort of disagree because I think, look, if it was just the clarifying the role of the vice president, it's not a big deal. It's not going to do much. What it does around the state legislatures and governors is a big deal because we've talked a lot about these Republican candidates, like Doug Mastriano becomes governor of Pennsylvania, Carrie Lake becomes governor of Arizona, or we have Republican secretaries of state in those states. They have a lot of power to just send an alternate slate of electors to not certify an election. This would rob them of that power and send it to the courts. Now, are we worried that the courts are stacked with a bunch of right-wing lunatics? Yeah, of course. But at some point, they're like, it's either going to be the justice system or the state legislatures or the governors or Congress that does this. So like, there's going to be someone in charge that figures this out. So I'd rather it be the justice system than Republican state legislatures and Republican governors.
But I think I'm for it. It definitely raises the degree of difficulty stealing an election. But where the insurrection is going to happen in 2024 is going to be between when the votes are cast and when the election is certified at the state level. It is going to be local precinct leaders, local county assessors not counting votes, refusing to certify at the canvassing boards, et cetera. It's not going to be the governor and the state legislature doing it just in front for everyone to see. It's going to be piecemeal. Just enough votes to make up that 40,000 vote difference was the difference between Joe Biden getting elected and Donald Trump returning to the White House.
That is very true, but that is why that can only be changed at the state level, right? Like those local precincts. That's why we've got to, flip state legislatures across this country.
But I just and then you worry that all of a sudden through this new law we've passed, it's harder for us to object to what we believe is an illegitimate election that is certified by Republican officials at the state level.
Then a court will.
Yes, no. All I'm saying. I'm for it. We should do it. We should do everything we can to codify as much as we can. The only way we will actually stop them from overturning a democracy is by winning these local elections. That is
100%.
99% of this is that. Yeah. That's all.
That said, to see Mitch McConnell get behind this kind of bill, I'm still like, oh.
Why do you think he did it? Why do you think?
I don't think they like that kind of chaos. I think if you are a Mitch McConnell in Congress on the day of the insurrection, in the back of your head you're saying, what power do I have? What control do I have? This is chaos that affects my job and my life. Whatever party you are, you want some semblance of order.
Yeah.
You know, and like they have to have that so they can do something. And the last thing they want is to not know who's in charge and to have chaos that ends up with their house being ransacked again.
Yeah. It's definitely notable that there is sort of a slightly different version of this bill in the House. And the only yes votes from Republicans were ones who had were retiring or who had lost a primary. It was only those who had no longer had a political fear of Donald Trump. So, look, I don't give Mitch McConnell credit for much, but I agree with what Sam was saying about him not liking the chaos and not liking the institutions looking like the jokes that they looked like after the 2020 election. But I also think like he has shed a little bit of his fear of Trump, as we've seen over the months and years.
I think that's right. And I also wonder if once a bunch of his Republican senators were on board this legislation, if he wondered about the politics of blocking a bipartisan bill to stop the next coup a couple weeks before the election.
Yeah, I also think
probably not great politics.
I think a lot of Republican senators like being choked but not being hanged.
Okay, wait. Let's walk through this one.
Oh.
Is this like the
Just keep going.
other metaphor?
I mean,
all right.
I want it explained.
I do too.
I want to know.
All right.
Who's doing the choke?
With 6 weeks to go until Election Day, McConnell and some other Republicans would like to keep Trump out of the news. Some of them would. But that's going to be a bit harder thanks to next Tuesday's release of New York Times reporter Maggie Haberman's eagerly awaited Trump book, Confidence Man. So Maggie wrote a preview in The Atlantic, and a few outlets got copies of the book, so we already have plenty of tidbits. And let me tell you, it doesn't seem like the guy was the best president. It's not. That's the spoiler alert from what I've read. What have you guys found from the excerpts and reporting that's new, surprising, particularly notable? Any favorites?
Nothing
Sam?
surprising.
Nothing surprising.
Maggie's like, oh my God, I think he's racist. Oh my God, I think he's transphobic. Oh my God, Maggie, yeah. I'm just like, what annoyed me the most about the Maggie Habermanification of covering Trump during his time in the White House was that journalists like her tried to ascribe some greater method or reason or logic to his madness. There's none. And you read this Atlantic preview she wrote. She does this long, winding piece about her interviews with Trump, and then she gets to the last graph and says, yeah, there's no reason with him. He's just crazy. We knew. And so...
But I think that's useful.
No, it's not. I'm
she's
just
she's
like...
basically saying, this guy's a
this guy's-
maniac.
yeah.
That's it. There's nothing.
Counterpoint.
What do we got?
What's the counterpoint? He's crazy.
I'm going to read this
Love
book.
it, loves him.
I'm going to read it cover to cover. And I know people are mad at her for sitting on scoops. I hope she sat us some more for a sequel. I'm in.
What scoop is there left on Donald Trump?
How? But that's
This
what
is what I don't...
But
it's
see,
just like-
people are both mad. People
It's like
are both
tidbits.
mad. She
Yeah.
sat on things for the book, and then mad that they don't think the book has anything new. And for me, I just like I'm living in the details. you
I
know?
just don't know...
She said Jason Miller. She said Donald Trump said in this book, you know how some guys you always kind of knew they were gay? Not Jason Miller. Not even 1%. I'm sorry. That's funny.
I think there's a lot of news that maybe Lovett didn't read over the last 4 years, and this is like this is the recap.
I'm catching up.
I mean, I think it's like, look, I think what happened to Maggie's book is I think a lot of things that were probably more blockbuster news kind of came out in the January 6th committee hearing process, because I think you saw her leaking out stuff along the way, which I'm sure she hated doing. She's trying to sell a book. It's notable to me that he did 3 sit-down interviews. Like, this guy, again, not a surprise to anybody, but he's so thirsty for the mainstream media attention that he then attacks. I did love, I like the little details too. I like the anecdote that Trump nearly fired Jared and Ivanka via a tweet, his own daughter. But John Kelly, of all people, stopped him. And it really made me lose respect for John Kelly, because, like, you had him where you wanted him, and you fucking you fumbled the bag, man.
But there were some things where they're like, this is a scoop. And I'm like, nah, that's just, like, people,
Oh.
dude. Like, when they're like, Donald Trump saw this room full of black staffers and asked them to get the food. And I was like, not just Donald Trump. Like, a lot of people do this shit. I don't know. It's just
That
nothing
one-
about, like, it wasn't surprising.
No.
And I think that, like, there's this kind of, like, liberal desire to have like the one nasty Trump story that takes him out. It doesn't exist.
We're still waiting on that.
It doesn't exist.
That's why I don't quite get the anger at Maggie for the withholding thing. Like, like your criticism that it's nothing to do with like that. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's more than like the is she going to report out a story that like
citizen's arrest?
He
That's
lost.
what she
He lost in 20. You think
Let me
she's going to report a story that he's going to be like, I quit. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out of public life.
If she reported that Donald Trump was having KKK meetings in the Lincoln bedroom, at this point, it wouldn't change shit.
Nothing.
It wouldn't change shit.
You're right.
If anything, better to have it come out near an election.
Sam,
I don't care.
Sam, to this point, the Washington Post led their excerpt about this, focusing on this excerpt of Trump apparently wanting to use the U.S. military to bomb cartels in Mexico. And I was like, I literally saw a clip of him bragging about this to a wedding party in Mar-a-Lago 3 weeks ago.
Exactly.
I'm not joking.
Exactly.
And this is not news. That is the plot of Clear and Present Danger, a film he saw and got the idea from.
Well, there was a thing where it's just like
Cellulose encased laser guided bomb.
well, there
That's
was
for no one. Go on.
I think his cruelty was underscored in some of these excerpts. You know, when he is being asked to speak to trans issues, he's asking if a hypothetical college student asking about trans rights is cocked or uncocked.
Yeah.
So like the cruelty is underscored, and it's horrible, it's demeaning, but it's also just still not surprising.
I thought what was most insightful about his mindset was during one of the interviews with her when she like asked, "Would you do it all over again?" And he said, "Yeah, of course." You know, he's like, "I got a bunch of rich friends, and no one knows who they are." That like it's like that is why he
and
does
also
this.
we
And that's
all
why
knew
he's
who
running
he
again.
was.
We all knew
who he was.
But the hunger for attention and fame is like the driving force of Donald Trump. It's not the money. It's not. It's the attention.
It's you know, there's all these like new every once in a while we just keep remaking like the Jeffrey Dahmer story over and again, like trying to find something more interesting about these serial killers. And like I was thinking about that because it's when I saw that quote from him, it's like there's nothing new to find. That's it. He just wants attention. He's broken. He wants attention. It's been true for 7 years, true for 30 years.
But the utility of the Jeffrey Dahmer story goes way up if Jeffrey Dahmer's still walking the streets.
Absolutely.
That's what's happening right now.
There's that.
Dan's got a good point.
That's right.
See? That's why he's right in the message box.
Yeah.
I do think part of the
That's how you get a Substack going.
I've known Maggie for like we all have for like 15, 20 years. I think one of the hard things of this whole presidency for her is she sort of felt like the Cassandra for some of these things. Like she's known him since the 80s. She knew he was a racist, venal, narcissist monster, and like she was to some extent, I think, constrained by the boundaries of the profession and how political reporters are allowed to report. And I think maybe she's a little more unshackled in this book in a way that's valuable.
See, I think that like they should have just changed her beat years ago. I think she got too into it and too in it. And she was just like, it was almost in certain points hearing her talk about that family, it felt almost incestuous. And God bless her, she's trying real hard, but get some new blood in there and like have a new perspective on it. When I read things from her now, or her tweets even now, it's just like they've almost incepted her. I don't know. I don't appreciate it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know that I agree with that.
Yeah.
I just think that she has walked a really delicate line, and like I know that we feel past it. I know that we feel we've learned a lot, but I do think that we take a little bit for granted how much inside information we got over the last 5 years via Maggie Haberman. That was a lot of really valuable reporting, and I think sometimes she gets short shrift for just describing what she's hearing without putting much spin on it. And I hear that maybe that people feel as though it's a little too cozy, but I sometimes think it's unfair.
Yeah, I think she's become, for a lot of people, and she's not perfect, no one is, become an avatar for what people in the Trump era have been most frustrated about journalism, because she's the most famous reporter covering Trump, and she bears the burden of every mistake every reporter made in this process.
I think the problem is just like what kind of journalism was most important during the Trump years, and the glorification of Maggie's style of reporting made us all believe that access journalism was the most important kind of journalism during those years. The most important kind of work was investigative journalism. That was more important. And that was more important.
I agree with that.
Which gets short shrift.
Yeah.
Speaking of people who drive Twitter nuts, Nate Cohn had a New York Times piece today where he argued that after a few months where Donald Trump and abortion were dominating the news, the headlines are starting to shift back towards issues like the economy and immigration, which might help Republicans. Dan, do you buy this analysis? And should Democrats try their hardest to keep Trump in the news for the next couple of weeks?
I'm just going to wait around till another nerd named Nate comes up with a contrary opinion in 5 minutes.
That is the safest course.
No, look, in all seriousness, I think Nate Cohn is onto something here. Like, you don't have to have done 1,000 focus groups for the wilderness or anything else. If you're just paying attention to the news, it's pretty evident that immigration, in part because of the stunts, the horribly cruel, largely illegal stunts of Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott, and just increasing fears about the economy, have become a larger part of the news. In his article, Nate Cohn cites Google Trends, Google search data, basically, that people have been searching those more than abortion and democracy. And that is, I would say, an imperfect tool, to say the least.
Yeah.
But so is polling. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think it is. We know from 2016 and 2020, we're very bad at picking who's going to win, particularly in close races. But we do have a lot of ways to figure out what people are thinking about and talking about. Polling is part of that, but you also have search data, you have social sharing data, you can just look at what's in the news. And it's very clear that the issue environment has switched a little bit. That makes sense. There's been a lot of time since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Not that abortion has fallen out of the news by any stretch of the imagination. And it's been a long time since there was a January 6th hearing, right? Like, we had this summer of January 6th hearings in Mar-a-Lago. And so the issue environment has shifted slightly towards issues that right now benefit Republicans. Doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. And we should think about, as Democrats, as people working on campaigns, how do you switch it back, right? Because ultimately, politics is a battle for issue salience. What are voters thinking about when they make their decision? Are they going to think about the issues you want them to think about, or the issues your opponent wants them to think about? And like, if this hearing were to happen, that would have been part of it. You know, weirdly, Maggie's book helps keep Trump in the news. Keeping Trump in the news is very important, I think. I was talking to Sarah Longwell, who does focus groups for the Bulwark and her podcast, and I know you talked to her for the Wilderness a bunch, for an episode of Political Experts React that's coming out, in which she said, we were talking about the 2017 election in Virginia, and what she said is that after Trump lost, Trump was on the ballot for all the people who love Trump, but not on the ballots for everyone who didn't like Trump. But since this summer, because of the decision on Roe and January 6th, Trump has become on the ballot for the people who kicked Trump out of office in 2020, and we have to keep that going if we are going to win. So we have to draw attention back to our issues and make this more a referendum on Republican extremism, and Trump is the best avatar for that.
See, I think the top issue should be Roe and not Trump. I think that, like, everyone has made their mind up on Trump. Every voter knows how they feel about him. I don't think enough voters have yet thought about the ways in which Roe being overturned affects them and their families' lives. And when they do start to think about it, the numbers shift. You know, there's some data that since Roe was overturned, fathers have shifted like 28 points from R to D. You know, that's what I would keep in the headlines. I don't actually think that Trump till November does a better job than saying they're going to take away all of our right to abortion.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think the issue, I think what we largely want is we want this election to be about Republican extremism. There is no better real world example that's affecting more people's lives than Roe.
Yeah.
And then all of this is a part of that, right? It is book bans. It is the attacks on LGBTQ plus community. It is everything Ron DeSantis did. It's what Ron DeSantis did in Martha's Vineyard. Yeah. And Trump is a part of that as well. And if we keep that story, and that story only works if Roe is at the center of it. Yeah. But I think for a large part of our voters, keeping them engaged, keeping them donating, Trump is a part of that, and we're going to want to keep that out there.
That's true. But Roe can get you voters who even kind of like Trump.
Yeah, and especially in a state like Arizona, where they just put back in place an abortion law that would criminalize abortion and put abortion providers in jail. Yeah, that's a real world thing that's happening. That's scary to people.
I also think back to the Virginia example. One thing we learned from that Virginia governor's race is you can't force Trump into a race where he might not fit. Like Terry McAuliffe calling him Glenn Trumpkin did not work. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
I thought that was great. I loved it. That was really.
If it worked, we would have said it was good.
That was clever, I thought.
In terms of I think when Trump's in the news, it's going to be better for Democrats. But I think in terms of what Democrats should do, you're right that Republican extremism is what the election has to be about, and we have to do a better job defining what Republican extremism means for you, right? And what are the consequences of Dobbs? What are the consequences of their economic plans? What are the consequences of what they're trying to do in states to LGBTQ prosecute kids, right? Like that. Like we got to hit the consequences more of Republican votes and Republican policies going forward.
That is why so many Democrats have centered on MAGA Republicans or MAGA extremism, not Trump Republicans, because Trump actually helps with some voters who think of him an outsider, but MAGA Republicans allows you to try to get the extremism with the terrible, corrupt Washington, D.C. Republicans like Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell.
Who are also not that popular. Okay, when we come back, we will talk to Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. The presenting sponsor of Pod Save America is Simply Safe. There's one company that's been doing a lot for our safety lately.
Who?
Simply Safe Home Security. It protects your whole home 24/7, and their professional monitoring agents use video evidence to verify a threat is real and pass that information to police for higher priority dispatch. Because at Simply Safe, your safety is all that matters.
That's it. Nothing else.
That's it. That's all. Your safety. Simply Safe's agents
Not the climate.
call you the moment a threat is detected and dispatch police or first responders in an emergency, even if you can't be reached. Simply Safe blankets your home in protection with advanced sensors for every room, window, and door, HD security cameras for inside and outside your home, and even hazard sensors that instantly detect fires, floods, and other threats to your home. Love it? Please tell us why you love Simply Safe.
I set up a Simply Safe all by myself, and it's worked flawlessly. I really recommend it. It's easy to take out. It works out of the box. It's extremely reliable. It's nice looking. It's a nice looking device. It fits well in your home.
Thank you. That's great. Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes. At simplysafe.com/crooked. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring. Go to simplysafe.com/crooked because there's no safe like Simply Safe. Pod Save America is brought to you by Expensify. If there's one thing that most people can agree on, it's that the old-fashioned way of handling expense reports and keeping track of receipts is a pain. That's why you need to check out Expensify. Expensify keeps money moving. More than 10 million people around the globe use Expensify's pre-accounting platform to reimburse expenses, manage business credit cards, generate invoices, pay bills, and plan trips, all from one easy-to-use app. With Expensify, you can snap a photo of a receipt and submit it, create workflows for approvals, and sync up accounting and HR platforms. Whether you're working for yourself, managing a team, or closing the books for your clients, Expensify makes it easy so you have more time to focus on what really matters. It's easy to log in, get set up, and start using Expensify right away. Expensify makes it easy to keep track of receipts. We use Expensify here at Crooked, which is great because otherwise we're not keeping receipts anywhere.
Yeah. No, it helps. Otherwise, we would be
getting receipts from the three of us is like
audited.
Blood from a stone.
Yeah.
I have receipts in my car from McDonald's. I crumple them up and they go into the wheel well. You know, the foot well. They go down. They go into the floor. That's what those are.
Download the app or sign up at Expensify.com today.
It used to be $3.50 for a McChicken and McDouble, but thanks to Joe Biden, it's $3.99.
That's Expensify.com. Pod Save America is brought to you by Blue Land. Did you ever feel overwhelmed by the number of plastic bottles and containers you throw away? I do.
I was thinking the other day,
overwhelmed.
there's
got
got
to
be a better way. I think to myself.
Yeah, me too.
In black and white.
Ever thought about purchasing more eco-friendly products but didn't know where to start?
Yes.
Or maybe
Blue Land.
you've tried a few green products but found them pricey or ineffective.
Mm-hmm.
If you answered
hit
yes
the
to
nail on the
any of
head.
these questions, which we did, meet Blue Land, which we also did.
Introducing Blue Land.
Blue Land is on a mission to eliminate single-use plastics by reinventing home essentials that are good for you and the planet.
They come by in a car, they just sort of, you cup your hands, they put soap in it. Just a ton of soap. Just bring out your buckets.
Blue Land's innovative tablet refill solution.
Oh, it's tablets.
Takes up to
That's better.
10 times less space than a traditional bottle.
My
Their
idea was bad.
Powerful formulas keeps your home clean and smelling amazing. The idea is simple. You grab one of their beautiful Forever bottles, you fill it with warm water, you drop in the tablet, and you get cleaning. Refills start at just $2, and you don't have to buy a new plastic bottle every time you run out.
I thought a Forever bottle is where you keep grandma on the shelf.
Holy shit. You can even set up a subscription so you never run out of the
What's
products
that called? An
you
urn?
use the most. And save even more when you buy in bulk. Try their Clean Essentials kit, which has everything you need to get started.
If you spill, Grandma.
Blue Land products come in refreshing signature scents like iris agave, fresh lemon, and eucalyptus mint.
Hey, if there's a Forever bottle of tablets on the mantle, what have we been washing the tub with?
Oh my god.
Oh my God, get going. Get us
And
through
for a
this.
limited time, their hand soap is getting a festive upgrade with 3 cozy new scents: apple butter, maple pumpkin, and vanilla chai, which is
Ooh.
Tommy's favorite.
Ooh.
Boots with the fur.
That's my impression of Tommy hearing about that flavor. Ooh.
I love Blue Land. It's
Me
all
too.
we use anymore.
We love it.
Love it.
Huge fans.
Save
It's
a lot
great.
of space under the kitchen in the little cabinets.
And the bottles are like they look really good.
Yeah.
Whether you want to put your cleaning supplies in there or
A loved one, a cherished loved one.
Right now, you can get 15% off your first order when you go to blueland.com/crooked. That's 15% off your first order of any Blue Land products at blueland.com/crooked.
It's a deal to die for.
blueland.com/crooked. Pod Save America is brought to you by Stamps.com. If you're a small business owner, you know how important it is to be ready for the insane holiday season. Luckily, Stamps.com has everything you need to make your life a whole lot easier. It's the 24/7 post office that you can access from anywhere. Say goodbye to lines, traffic, and hassle.
Say goodbye to traffic.
That's why we've used Stamps.com
Bye,
since
traffic.
our early days here at Crooked Media. We love Stamps.com, don't
Hey,
we?
traffic.
It's been almost 6 years at this company.
6 years.
From day one,
They were there. They were.
we've
Not-
been using
Not
Stamps.com.
Stamps.com.
one trip to the post office.
Nope.
Nope.
I don't even know what one looks like, thanks
They
to
still have
Stamps.com.
they still have pens attached to those little metal ropes.
Probably.
But
Probably.
sometimes you follow the rope all the way to the end, and there's no pen there. There's just a cap. Just a fucking cap.
Get access to the USPS and UPS services you need to run your business right from your computer. Protect your margins with major discounts on USPS and UPS rates up to 86% off.
Here's I'll do impression of the post office.
No.
Next.
Print postage wherever you do business. All you need is a computer
We love the
and
post
printer.
office.
With Stamps.com's Switch and Save feature, you can easily compare carriers and rates. And if you're running an online store, Stamps.com works seamlessly with all the major shopping carts and marketplaces. Yeah, apologies to Louis DeJoy out there.
Yeah, and if anyone, any male
that
carriers listening
guy.
to this, I want you to know that I was on your side because I thought those new truck designs were stupid, and you deserved a cooler truck.
Get ahead of the holiday chaos this year. Get started with Stamps.com today. Sign up with promo code CROOKED for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter code CROOKED.
Please welcome the Democratic Senator from Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren. Senator Warren, welcome back to Pod Save America.
It's good to be with you.
You guys should applaud. You're an audience. They were stunned. They were stunned to see it. They forgot how to behave.
Look, I get it. I'm not there in person, so we got to do this remotely. It's tough. It's tough. You got to give us all clues as we go through this.
We're here in the Sirius studio. We have a great audience here. They're very excited for you. So
Don't listen. They were just rude a minute ago, and what they did was obnoxious and rude. And they're sorry. They're gonna feel terrible later. But we're moving past it.
Okay. I'll buck up. Okay.
all right, Senator Warren. Inflation is the biggest issue affecting our economy. It's one of the biggest issues affecting this midterms. You have been very critical of the approach that Chairman Powell and the Fed have been taking to fighting inflation. What do you think they're doing wrong, and what should they be doing instead?
So we have to think of inflation. This is about high prices for families. That's a real problem. And so the question is, what causes the problem and what are your tools to fix it? What kind of things are causing inflation right now? Actually, COVID still is. It's shutting down economies in different parts of the world. Supply chain kinks that we still have. The war in Ukraine that not only affects energy prices, but also the question about supplies of wheat around the world, and price gouging. You know, those giant corporations that say as long as we're raising prices anyway and everybody's talking about inflation, let's take an extra big scoop on prices and boost our profits. Okay, that's what we got going on. So what is the appropriate response to that? Chairman Powell opens his toolbox and he's got basically one tool: raise interest rates. And his idea is raise interest rates and that will slow down the economy and put a lot of people out of work, and that means people will buy less. But notice, it doesn't do anything about COVID, it doesn't do anything about the supply chain, it doesn't do anything about the war in Ukraine, it doesn't do anything about price gouging. And in fact, Chairman Powell has actually said that to me in banking hearings. Nope, can't affect any of those things. So here's my concern. When Chairman Powell is not just moving interest rates up and saying he wants to slow the economy, he is taking extreme steps like we have not seen in a very long time, just banging away on 3/4 of a point, pushing those interest rates up very far, very fast. What he risks is tipping the economy into a recession, too much of a jerk on the economy. And so now we're in a position where, let me get this straight, what we could end up with is prices don't come down because many of the things, not everything, but many of the things that affect those prices are not going to be affected by higher interest rates. And the economy goes into recession and more people are out of work. So the way I look at this is, what is worse than high prices and low unemployment? It's high prices and high unemployment. And that's where I am afraid that Chairman Powell is taking us.
It's been 40 years since we dealt with inflation. As you point out, this is the last time we dealt with inflation. This is the exact path the Fed took. Chairman Volcker did at the time. What would be a different approach other than sort of trying to force down demand in wages to lower the cost of goods?
Well, one way is to increase supplies. And that's exactly what the Biden administration is trying to do right now. So every time the United States and other countries invest in getting COVID under control, for example, getting more people vaccinated so you don't have to shut down factories and you don't have to shut down transit, then by golly, we take another step toward getting things normalized and bringing those prices back down. Plenty of goods available. Second one, same sort of thing on supply chain. Every time we can unkink a supply chain, then we're doing better on pricing. Everything we can do to try to bring down the price of petroleum, of energy, which the president has been doing, strategic oil reserves, and so on. And then the other one is go after the big corporations that are engaged in price gouging. And the Department of Justice is doing a certain amount of that. The FTC is doing a certain amount of that, and it helps. All of those, though, are things that help bring down prices. I'll mention a second one. Remember where we started this. Why does this matter? It matters because it's hitting at the family level. And here is where Democrats and Republicans couldn't be in different places. Democrats are doing everything they can to try to bring down costs for families. Look at the Inflation Reduction Act. What do? We're trying to bring down the cost of health care, give Medicare a chance to negotiate prescription drug prices, put a cap on what people pay for insulin, put a cap on what seniors have to pay for prescriptions. What else are we doing? We're putting in place this giant climate bill whose goal is to bring down utility costs for families. And by the way, all paid for by a 15% minimum corporate tax that I think we've been talking about for a long time. But those are things that go directly to the costs that families are bearing every day. It's not as sexy, it doesn't get as many headlines, but it is truly Democrats fighting to bring down costs for families. And where are Republicans on this? They scream, they yell, they say inflation over and over, and what are the number of ideas they have for what to do about it? Zero.
I'm glad you brought that up, because Republicans, despite the fact that they have no ideas, they've been wrong on policy, the economy's been better under Democratic presidents, all of the polling shows that Republicans have an advantage on the economy. And that's not new. That's been true. That was true in 2020, 2018, 2016, basically every election since 2012. Are there specific things that Democrats could do or say that you think could help sort of narrow that gap or address that discrepancy as we head into the election?
Well, I think part of it is exactly that. Let's just draw the contrast. Let's just remind people, not at some fancy theoretical level, but at let's make a list. What are the things, not just that Democrats have promised and that demonstrate who we're fighting for, but what is it that Democrats have delivered? We've delivered on health care. We're in the middle of delivering on utility costs. We have delivered on student loan debt, right? We have done things to actually bring down costs for families at the same time that the Republicans not only have zero ideas, how do I say this? They have negative ideas. Their ideas are, don't do those things that would bring down costs for families.
So that, I mean, look, I think that's pretty insulting to Kevin McCarthy, who this week pretended to eat in a diner while rolling out what they're calling a commitment to America. It was one page of, it was a list. There were words and bullets, ostensibly an agenda of some kind. What did you make of the commitment to America?
So I have to say on this, read the first one. I really wish right now that we had you could put it up on the board behind us.
I don't think we can.
Because the first one of these actually was an economic, we're going to lower costs for family. And it was a generic description of exactly what the Democrats have done. And so I feel like there's this moment if they say, hey, that's actually good stuff. This is like how they did on the infrastructure bill, right? Or how they did on the first, on the COVID relief package, where there's help out there for small businesses. They all vote against it and then they go home. And when there's actually some relief delivered, they show up at the ribbon cutting and say, you're welcome to everybody. While they fought on the opposite side. And I think that's the part we have to keep hammering on. And by the way, let me just, if I can, raise the stakes a little bit here. It's not just that Republicans have no good ideas for dealing with inflation. It's not only they're fighting the things we're trying to do, they're looking for things that would make the economy affirmatively worse for tens of millions of American families. Ron Johnson, senator from Wisconsin, says that instead of voting every 5 years on whether to keep Social Security, which is the official Republican position evidently right now in the Senate, Ron Johnson says, let's vote every single year. Let's say to those people who are depending on Social Security, you just got a few more months where you're guaranteed to have it, and then next year it could completely run out. That is the guy who is now carrying the torch for Republicans, the incumbent in Wisconsin, which is why, let me just be clear on this, Mandela Barnes, we need you in the United States Senate. We need you. Because we got to get rid of Ron Johnson, somebody whose whole idea on how to fix the economy is let's put Social Security at risk. And of course, while he's at it, let's make sure that women who need access to abortions actually run the possibility that they'll be violating the law, that doctors could be put in jail for performing needed medical procedures. This is the extreme end of the Republican Party. And to me, that's what this fight is all about. It's about economics, it's about extremism, but it's also about showing up for people like Mandela Barnes. And anybody who's listening to this who really cares about these issues, let me just ask you, send a little money to mandelabarnes.com. He needs help because he's up against an extremist who is telling a story both about Mandela and about the economy that just doesn't jibe with our reality and is deeply, deeply dangerous.
Earlier today, President Biden attempted to recognize a Republican member of Congress for her vote, but she had actually sadly passed away in August. He thought she was in the room. Do you think that this is a gaffe because only dead Democrats vote? Or is that, do you think I misread the controversy?
I do not know about this.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad we were all here for Elizabeth Warren's last interview on Pod Save America.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that. Before we let you go, thank you so much for your time. Before we let you go, there's somebody here tonight. They're an aspiring musician out of Springfield, Ohio, and they're trying to do their best to kind of help out, but they're worried about the future of democracy. And he just wanted to say hello, and hopefully we thought maybe you, Senator Warren, could buck up our guy.
Hello.
It's and look, you know, he's trying to keep people's spirits up, but he's worried, you know. He's an aspiring musician. That album.
I aspire every day.
Hello.
Hello, Senator Warren. How are you?
Listen, I'm a lot better for seeing you than that last thing we just did.
I'm sorry.
I have nothing to do with the last question you got.
Good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing great. And
Good.
I am worried about democracy, I'll tell you that. Do you have words of hope for us?
You know, I do. We got an election coming up in November. And we got a lot of days between now and then. What have we got? About 5 weeks between now and then, right? Almost 6. We should be out. We got a chance to get out there every day and affect the direction that our nation takes. You and I both get this. I mean, we've talked about this for a long time, only it's just gotten worse. The difference between the two parties, the Democrats who are fighting to try to make life better for working people, to expand opportunity, the Democrats who try to live in the real world and try to deal with the real problems that people have, and the Republicans that have just become extremists on abortion, extremists on violence. If they lose, then they talk about taking to the streets. This is our moment. I don't want to wake up on the day after the election and say, gee, we could have given it a little more. So my word of hope is now is the time when it's still open, when it's still in your hands. And can I give my most hopeful? We get just two additional Democrats in the United States Senate. Keep the ones we got and add 2. And yes, I'm looking at you, Mandela Barnes in Wisconsin. I'm looking at you, John Fetterman in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And I'm looking at how much fun they're having in Ohio and North Carolina right now. So we've even got some more.
Come on, Tim Ryan.
But yes, but we get 2 more Democratic senators, 2 additional ones, who are willing to roll back the filibuster. And we hang on to the House. And all of a sudden, it's not like, okay, just by the skin of our teeth, we can do the things we need to do and we can fight this through. We were just talking about the things we've already gotten done. Think about the things we can do now with that team, because we can actually ensure voting rights for every American citizen to vote and to get that vote counted. We can ensure that Roe versus Wade is the law of the land everywhere. We can do universal child care. You know, we can do the things that work for American families. We can do immigration reform. These are the things that we can come together and work on, and we can invite the Republicans to be part of this. We can do a whole national conversation around it. But the difference between where we are, if we get those couple of additional senators, and if the Republicans are able to take control, this really is, John, you got it right. This is about our democracy. I'm really scared for us. So this is the moment to use your hope, to motivate yourself, to get up off your fanny and get out there, give some money, make some phone calls, knock on some doors, and make it happen. Don't you believe we could do this, John?
I believe it. Let's do it.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it. My God.
Senator Elizabeth Warren, thank you so much for your time. And we'll be right back. John Legend's going to stick around graciously. Thank you so much.
Joining us today, the aspiring young musician who just asked Elizabeth Warren a question, passionate advocate for criminal justice reform, longtime friend of the pod, who just released a brand new album called Legend, John Legend.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. We haven't done this live in a long time.
A long time.
Yes.
Pre-pandemic, I think.
Yes, definitely pre-pandemic.
Congrats on the new album.
Thank you.
It's been my soundtrack to and from work for the last couple of weeks.
Well,
it's fantastic.
I appreciate it. It's always interesting knowing my friends listen to my music and then knowing what people sometimes do to my music.
Homework. Excel spreadsheets.
It's I always wonder if that's a no-go for them. People that know me, have had dinner with me, hung out with me, if they want to invite me into that part of their life.
No comment.
Yeah, sure. Let's get into it. This is the house that Howard Stern built. How is it making music at home during the pandemic? Were you like trapped on Zoom like the rest of us, except with like Rick Ross or something?
Well, we did have a few Zoom recording sessions. We don't record at home. We have a studio. It's like a house with a studio in it, but it's like 15 minutes from where we live.
Right.
We can get away and go to work. Chrissy shot a lot of her cookbook there as well, so it's like our work creative house.
Cool.
And so we go over there, and I have a room that's just a studio, and I would have people Zoom in. I'd have people come over. You know, at the beginning, we all masked up like while we were writing songs together, which is weird, but we did it. And then we just were writing songs, feeling like, you know, the light was visible at the end of the tunnel. Like we would have something to celebrate soon. It took, you know, some
And that
turns.
was July of 2020.
It took some turns, some ups and downs, but you know, overall, it felt like we wanted to write a really like joyful, fun, sexy album, and that's what we worked on starting in early 2021.
Well, you did it.
Thank you.
So let's talk politics, because you're an activist, but you're also a political nerd like
Yes,
us.
very
Well,
much
I don't know
so.
if people know that. So at some point in every campaign, Republicans hit Democrats on crime. This year's no different.
course.
You spent years advocating for the same criminal justice reforms that are now the target of a lot of Republican attacks.
We're victims of our own success.
Of
in
course,
some ways.
which
Yeah.
How do you think Democratic candidates and activists should handle these kind of attacks at a time when a lot of people are actually concerned about crime and violence?
I think first of all, you acknowledge that people aren't crazy for feeling concerned about crime. I think crime is real. People feel it in their lives when they see homelessness in the street, when they see despair, when they read the news and see what's being reported. They're not insane to feel like, oh, this feels like things are less safe than they were a couple years ago. And let's remind ourselves, we went through a once-in-a-century pandemic. There are all kinds of reasons why there was more despair, more of a sense of disconnection from society, and there was more crime, particularly during the time in the last 2 years there was. And so, first of all, we acknowledge that and don't act like they're crazy for feeling that, but also realize that we're already the most policed country in the world. We spend more money on policing than anyone. Realize we're already the leading incarcerator in the world. And so if that were the thing, if those were the things that would make us the safest country in the world, we would be the safest country in the world. Because if those were the solutions, we would already be the safest country in the world. So the question is, well, what else could we do to make us safer? And then if you look at the statistics, the most dangerous states when it comes to gun violence are all Republican states. So when the Republican politicians are attacking us on safety, on crime, and they're not going to do anything about gun violence, they're not going to do any kind of regulation. In fact, they're going to make it easier for you to get a gun now. Even after massacres, they go to the state legislature and write laws to make it easier for you to get a gun. Easier for teachers to have guns in the classroom. We're not safer because of that. Yeah. So we need to think about, in addition to, Democrats are very astute at funding the police, despite our reputation. And we've been part of building up this carceral state as well, as a bipartisan project of being tough on crime. But if those things were going to be the solution to make us the safest country in the world, we would already be that. So what else can we do? Can we fight the spread of guns? Can we do other prevention programs like mental health and drug addiction programs that will help us actually prevent crime? Can we just make families more whole and have the resources they need, the education resources they need, so that we're driving fewer kids to crime in the first place? Can we do some of those things in addition to all the other stuff we're doing to make sure that we really are safer and a healthier society?
So we got this big election coming up, as you folks out there know. Lots of people are focused on the Senate and talking about the House. You have spent a lot of time, years really, encouraging voters to look down the ticket to meet their DA, to get to know their DAs, understand what a progressive prosecutor does or doesn't do. Can you just help listeners like kind of paint a picture of what electing someone like Larry Krasner in Philadelphia does in real terms versus like maybe a more like law and order DA?
Well, being a district attorney, you have a decent amount of discretion. So we have laws that are written by our legislatures, but the way they're enforced, the way they're taken to court, the way that they're charged, and the way sentencing is recommended is usually via the district attorney, sometimes called the state's attorney in some states. And so they have a lot of discretion. So if you're thinking about, well, how do we figure out ways to use incarceration less? How do we think about ways to have more diversion programs? How do we think about ways to get juvenile offenders out of the system? DAs are in a lot of ways the pathway to that because they have so much control over a lot of the discretionary decisions that are made. And so we've been working along with a bunch of other activists around the country on identifying progressive candidates to run for office and then for us to support. And I have personally gone out and stumped for some of these candidates, fundraised for them. Larry Krasner is one of them. And some of the reforms that they bring into bear are things like reducing the use of cash bail or eliminating cash bail. We're one of the only countries in the world that actually uses a cash bail system. Again, if that were going to make us the safest country in the world, we would already be. So it's an unjust system because it basically imprisons you for being poor. Because they're not saying you're in jail because you're dangerous. They're saying you're in jail because you can't afford a certain amount of money.
Right.
And that means you're in jail because you're poor. And sometimes the amount is $1,000. We saw with like Khalif Browder. It was not a lot of money for plenty of people in America, but it was a lot of money for him. Yeah. And they used it as a leverage against him to get him to try to plead down. He didn't do it. Right. He said he didn't do it. He insisted he didn't do it. And so he stayed in jail because he couldn't afford bail and because they wouldn't let him out and tried to use that as leverage against him. He ended up dying because of the despair that Rikers brought into his life. Cash bail is an unjust system. It punishes people for being poor, and it locks up way too many people. And so there are progressive DAs around the country that have just decided, we're not going to use it. We're not going to ask for it. So Krasner is one of them. Kim Foxx is one of them. And there are folks around the country that are doing that. And we support candidates that advocate those kinds of reforms.
So important.
So big Senate race in your home state of Ohio.
In Ohio, Tim Ryan.
How do we turn your red state blue?
Yeah, what happened?
What's going on?
Well, as you know, we already have a Democratic senator in Ohio. His name is Sherrod Brown. And,
love Sherrod.
And so even and Ohio voted for Barack Obama. So it's not so distant, the possibility that we would vote for another Democrat. And I feel like we need the right kind of Democrats in Ohio. And I feel like Tim Ryan is the right kind. And J.D. Vance is like as bad at being a good Ohio candidate as you could be. Like when the deck is stacked in his favor, when it's a leaning red state that could be characterized as pretty red, and he's doing as poorly as he's doing in the polls, is because he's not really that great of a candidate. And it's not just that, it's that Tim Ryan is actually a really good candidate. He really is empathetic. He understands the concerns of working people in Ohio. I grew up in a working class family. My dad was an auto worker. My mother stayed at home with us. And so I can identify with a lot of the struggles that Ohioans feel, even though it's been a while since I've lived there. I remember what it was like growing up there, and I remember the culture there. And I feel like Tim Ryan is able to speak to that in a very authentic way. And I think he really has a good chance of winning there. I'm doing what I can to fundraise for him and to campaign for him. And I think we have a good chance of gaining a seat in Ohio.
Yeah. My in-laws tell me this all the time.
Tim Ryan,
listen to you too.
Yoga and football. J.D. Vance wants to ban porn. You got to tell everybody at the Buckeye games that.
That's a message.
How do people not know that? Tell the college MAGA guys.
Well, honestly, and we need to look at what they want to do to women's freedom. And
that's a much more serious
rights.
point. Yeah. Now I feel like an asshole. Fuck.
I didn't know he wanted to ban porn.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't feel like that's
hard to keep up.
I don't feel like that's a winning issue with very many people.
No, not
Nobody's
really.
talking about it.
Yeah.
You want to stick around for a game? Love it came up with a game just for you.
I would love to play a game.
Great. Perfect.
John Legend.
John Lovett.
Is he the coolest friend of the pod? We can't say for sure, but he's in the conversation.
I'm a genuine fan. I listen to you guys all the time.
It makes me nervous. So we've decided to enlist your help. We've all borne witness over the past few years to political moments that are deeply sincere and spine-tinglingly cringy.
Okay.
Which is why
sincere and cringy.
Yes.
Probably Democrats.
Mostly.
Yes.
Yeah. Republicans insurrect. Democrats read poems.
Yes.
Pen is mightier, we hope.
We sinsurrect.
So it's time for a game we call Nerd Level 0.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Nice. I'll read a moment. You will all rank that moment
Okay.
on a scale of 1 to 5 Bono poems. How will we know who wins? The winner is Nancy Pelosi, but we're going to try to have fun. All right, here we go.
Okay.
First moment to rank on a scale of 1 to 5 Bono poems. Nancy Pelosi and the Dems kneeling in kente cloth.
Some kente. I have to say, I have to plug our show, Sherman Showcase. We have an amazing song on the show called Add Some Kente. And I believe we used one of these photos in the show.
Nice.
It was for a very special Black History Month edition that we did. Sincere and cringe. This is about max, yeah.
This is it. This is the standard. This is a 5. We're starting with a 5.
That's a 5.
Next, Nancy
Yeah.
Pelosi reads a Bono poem about Ukraine.
I got this message this morning from Bono.
Ireland's sorrow and pain is now the Ukraine, and St. Patrick's name is now Zelensky. About that.
How about that?
Is that
I
real?
think it's the smiling.
Yes, I've never seen this clip.
I didn't know that was real.
It's brutal. It's the can you believe it? It's so good.
Look what I just did. That's a 4, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
The thing is, I feel like reading that poem would have gone over well in that moment, but it was the faces that made it cringier.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough.
So I'm only going to rank that like a 2 or a 3.
2 or 3?
Yeah.
Okay, we're giving it a 3. Next up, Andrew Yang trying to shoot a basketball.
Oh.
No.
We'll handle.
Does this clip end?
I don't think it's that cringy.
I don't think either. I don't think so either. And like
one, he shoots better than me, so
It did get worse as it went on, though. I will say that.
Trick question. He's not a Democrat.
yeah, not
that is true.
Third party.
Oh, don't be playing to the
booing
crowd.
him. Who are we booing?
He's a
are you
forward party. Is that what it
Something
was?
like that.
We're giving it 0. You're gonna
Yeah.
give me a clip of someone being bad at sports?
He needed his shot to be a little more forward, though.
Yes.
Yeah,
totally.
hey.
I like that.
Next up, Chuck Schumer trying to rap.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Oh, no. How have I never seen that?
I don't know. I don't know how we're just seeing this for the first time.
Is that Rolling Loud?
When did that happen?
Wow.
That probably it had to be in New York, right? That's the only reason he would do this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he would.
Constituent services.
Let's be honest. There's a camera. He'll be there.
And this wasn't Rosh Hashanah. I don't think. What do we think? 4?
Yeah.
3 to me.
I feel like it's 3.
Yeah, because
Okay,
it's
3.
like it was he. You know.
I feel like
what are you
he
gonna
knew.
expect?
I feel like he knew he didn't have much sauce, so he kept it brief.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
And
I agree with that.
and so it's a 3.
Next up, Hillary Clinton doing the Macarena at the 1996 Democratic National Convention.
Brutal.
Yeah.
This rules.
I love it.
They're having so much fun.
Please help.
never
Make
does
it
it.
stop.
She never does it.
Yeah.
End the clip.
Hillary never actually did the Macarena.
She never throws it.
Trick
She
question.
she
0.
knew her place, and she was like, "I'm going to clap on the on every quarter note, and that is all I'm doing.
That's right.
She did the right thing.
Y'all not gonna make fun of me.
She did the right thing. Although, 20 years later.
But I will not critique the unadulterated joy I saw in that room as well.
I agree. I think that's right. What do we say? They're having a good time.
Yeah, they're having fun.
They're not doing it for 2022. They were doing it back in 1996 when it was a cool dance. Everyone was into it.
You act like you didn't make the game. Who are you yelling at, yourself?
He may not have picked the clips. He seems genuinely surprised by the clips.
Listen, in a lot of ways, this is a finely oiled machine. It runs itself. Hand me the cards. I read the cards. Next up, Ed Markey's breakfast tweet. It's Ed just for those listening at home. It's Ed Markey in front of a table that says Doritos, that has Doritos, Lay's, I believe a Snickers bar.
Brought to you by Frito-Lay.
Milky Way and a Cheetos. So Ed Markey, not long for this world. But I don't think it's that cringy. I think it's cool.
It's like a little thirsty, but I don't think it's that cringy.
It's funny because he's like in pretty good shape and he's old.
And he has a great Boston
If that's
accent.
what he's eating, more power to him.
Seriously.
God bless him. I wish I could eat all that.
He's a Duncan fan.
Yes.
What is the opposite of cringe?
It's the opposite of cringe. It's good.
Yes. I support him.
Show us something cringy, love it. What the hell?
All right, fine. I'll do it. Next up, Lin-Manuel Miranda giving a speech and the Hamilton cast performing Dear Theodosia to commemorate the January 6th insurrection.
Lin-Manuel and his father.
The description, the log line is not good.
Hamilton singers, who we'll hear from, said that they were all very honored to be asked to participate today. I call your attention to
a new year brings hope for the future, new energy to face the tasks ahead of us, and a renewed promise to strengthen the foundations of our democracy. That's what I wrote about in the song Dear Theodosia from Hamilton. I believe no challenge is worth abandoning our efforts to unite as Americans. We'll keep working, generation after generation, until we reach that someday.
Yeah, you'll blow us all away someday, someday.
I think this is good. I like this. This is working on me. I'm cringe. Strike me down. I love this. Shame on the producers of this program. This is good.
I mean, these talented people.
I think it's great in isolation.
Right.
I don't think it was the right way to introduce the January 6th hearings.
I feel like this is really a game about Nancy Pelosi doing
Yeah.
cringy things
Well,
and some other people who ended up in here.
I'm losing him. Go to Hillary Clinton saying
artists are
Pokemon go to the
singing
polls.
into a boombox.
Go to Hillary Clinton doing the Pokemon go to the polls things. Hurry.
Because we're going to have a lot of jobs from building infrastructure to coding, creating new apps. I don't know who created Pokemon Go.
Nintendo.
All right. Talk about
But
it.
I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Honestly, it's still great.
It's a
still
classic.
great.
It's a classic.
Rules.
You know what? We're still talking about it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's kind of like my pose on TikTok. It's like knowingly dad on TikTok. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I
You know,
know.
so you know.
I know I'm too old for this. Like on TikTok, and then I feel like Hillary knew she was being corny on that.
Yeah.
That's up there, though.
It is up there. I will say this as someone who took great relish in writing very cheesy sentences for Hillary Clinton, including George W. Bush and John McCain are two sides of the same coin, and it doesn't amount to a whole lot of change.
Hey!
All right, let's end.
He genuinely likes that line because he talks about that all the time.
It's good.
That's so
it's
brutal.
good. All right. 4 out of 5.
I like it. I like that line.
Thank you, John Legend. Thank you, John Legend. Last one.
Oh.
2016. Where do you go? You got somewhere to be? Good. Bring Dan out here. Trump bad. It's fine.
It's fine. We know what's going to happen next.
All right. Final clip. 2016 DNC's fight song.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother, my hero, and our next president, Hillary Clinton. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm a right song.
I think it was good.
It was
fine.
There's no cringe. No
cringe.
No cringe. Zero cringe.
No cringe. That's our game.
I'm glad we had a nice range of cringiness.
We learned.
That's why there's a scale.
Yeah.
We learned maybe we're pretty cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes everyone's cringe. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to be cringe.
I did the Yes We Can video with will.i.am. So
yeah.
No, I remember that.
Yes.
And by the way, that only became cringe after the fact. It was at the time.
cool.
It was like,
It worked at the time.
This
It
is
really
it worked.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't write the change line.
Oh, we'll get a speech off, an old-fashioned speech off over here. Oh no.
We're the ones we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. What does it even mean? Well, what? This. John Legend, thank you so much. When we come back, we actually will be joined by the hosts of Dare We Say, Alicia Pascal Pena and Yasmin Hamidi, for another game. So hang on your hats. End of segment. Go to commercial.
Pod Save America is brought to you by Noom. There are so many different reasons to lose weight, like keeping up with your kids or improving your mental health.
Getting accepted into flight school.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Astronaut camp.
If you want to be on a submarine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a weight. I'm sure there's a weight that you have to hit.
It's tight down there.
Looks claustrophobic.
When we decide to lose weight, it's usually not just about the number on the scale. Whatever your reason, Noom is ready to help.
You can't believe that they're smoking down there in those movies.
Noom Weight's
You just can't believe it.
Noom Weight's psychology-based approach empowers you with the knowledge and support to build lasting results.
Just one ping.
To date, Noom Weight has
ping,
helped
Vasily.
more than 3.6 million people lose weight. The program is based on scientific principles like cognitive behavioral therapy to help you understand your relationship with food. Noom Weight is a flexible, non-restrictive program that focuses on progress. Choose your level of support from 5-minute daily check-ins to personal coaching.
Give your diet a Crazy Ivan.
Crazy Ivan? Oh, he's having a smoke by the nukes.
Active Noomers, as we like to call them,
okay, Noomer,
lose an average of 15 pounds in 16 weeks. And 95% of customers say Noom Weight is a good long-term solution. Love it. How has Noom helped you achieve your wellness goals?
Look at me. I'm a walking testament.
It's an audio format, so try to
everyone close your eyes
to people.
Imagine me, then imagine basically someone putting me in a lathe and shaving off an inch from all the way around.
Everywhere?
Thank you. Everywhere. No.
Sorry, pal. Tough.
Worth it.
Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom Weight's psychology-based approach.
No. A ping. Kyle throws in a ping. Oh, Tommy's doing it. Wow, I thought it was coming through the soundboard.
Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com/cricket. That's NOOM.com/cricket to sign up for your trial today. Pod Save America is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Did you know there are currently over 2.4 million podcasts in the world?
That seems like a low estimate.
Including the one you're listening to right now.
2.4 million people are doing this? It's because we make it look so easy.
It takes a team of people to help bring these podcasts together.
You bet it does.
Feel free to talk about some of the people on your team who help bring your show together.
Kyle and the one that do
Kyle here right now.
Kyle's here. Only Kyle's getting a shout out because he's the only one who's here.
He's the only one that
Andy, Olivia,
Haley.
We had a great team. Haley, Michael.
I haven't learned anyone's
now
name.
Now I'm gonna get in trouble because I'm gonna leave somebody out.
That's why you started naming names. I think that was a mistake.
Well, I'm gonna keep going. You guys throw out names when you think of them. Needless to say, hiring the right people for these roles is important. And whether you're hiring for a podcast or for your growing business, there's only one place that makes it easy.
There's the tall guy.
Now you can
with the curly hair.
You can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/crooked. ZipRecruiter uses its powerful technology to find and match the right candidates up with your job. Additionally, ZipRecruiter has a complete suite of tools that makes it easy to filter, review, and rate your candidates. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Couldn't do without the sales team.
They're on the line.
They're on the Zoom.
Oh, yeah.
So better say that.
Damn right.
So if you're a fan of this podcast and you want to try ZipRecruiter for free today, you need to remember our special URL, ZipRecruiter.com/crooked. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/CROOKED. ZipRecruiter is the smartest way to hire.
And shout out to the editors who make this salvageable.
Pod Save America is brought to you by Wealthfront. There's so much going on with the economy right now. Are we in a recession? Is it a bear market? What's going on with inflation? Well, we can't tell the future, but we can tell you about a great place to earn more in your savings, and that's Wealthfront. Wealthfront is an app that helps you save and invest your money. Right now, you can earn 2% APY with the Wealthfront Cash Account. That's 20 times more interest than if you left your money in a savings account at the average bank, according to FDIC.gov. Getting a cash account is easy. It takes just a few minutes to sign up, and then you'll immediately start earning 2% interest on your savings. And when you open an account today, you'll get an extra $50 bonus with a deposit of $500 or more. There are already nearly 500,000 people using Wealthfront to save more, earn more, and build long-term wealth. So why wait? Earn 2% on your cash today. Visit wealthfront.com/crooked to get started. That's wealthfront.com/crooked. This high-interest good news has been a paid endorsement from Wealthfront.
And we're back. Welcome to the studio. The hosts of Crooked's Dare We Say podcast, along with Josie Toda, Alicia Pascal Pena, and Yasmin Hamidi. Hello to you both. Now, you've joined us because you are going to be pitted against my first wave millennial co-host and Dan, and last wave Gen X co-host. Almost millennial co-host. For a game we're calling Youngs versus Slightly Less Youngs, but still in the prime of their lives.
Okay. Some classic ageism.
Some other titles we considered. Dare We Gray.
Oh, I like that one.
Also, Y2K versus Y2 Slay. Here's how it works. I'll be asking our Dare We Say host trivia questions about iconic millennial touchstones. Tommy and John and Dan will be asked about Gen Z. Are you ready?
Fuck.
Oh,
Here we go.
Okay.
All right.
Good luck, you guys.
Okay.
All right.
May the best generation win.
Yasmin, Alicia, here we go.
All right. Okay.
Jack and Meg White, the band members in White Stripes, were what? A, brother and sister. B, a divorced couple. C, a divorced couple who pretended to be siblings for reasons that both now feel obscure and malevolent. Or D, are actually the same person.
Not the same person.
Can you repeat the question?
No.
Are you being serious?
Absolutely not.
As someone with dyslexia.
All right. Espérate. I know their song.
Can we discuss or
Yeah,
no?
of course you can.
Okay. I feel
there's
like
that
briefly.
Nation Army song. Like they're really great.
but
I'm
I wanna go to
Not too much. We'll have to cut it.
Okay. Sorry.
Can we do B? I think they were
Espérate. No, I feel like they were
silent or silenced.
You're being silenced by me.
I need an answer.
B.
Siblings? What was that one?
No, they were
divorcees.
But they
I'm sorry, that was incorrect.
All of it.
It was C. They were a divorced couple that pretended to be siblings.
That's sick.
That's really
That's
sick.
sick. That's
I actually, by the way, I learned that today. I thought up until today, I lived my whole life thinking that they were siblings. You thought they were siblings. They were a divorced couple pretending to be siblings. What a weird thing.
I feel like that's against the law.
No, I don't think it is.
not in Kentucky.
No way is it against the law. There's no way you can find a way to make it against the law. John, Dan, Tommy.
All right.
What did TikTok star Charlie D'Amelio get named after? Did I say that right?
D'Amelio.
What? D'Amelio?
D'Amelio.
Eat shit. I think it's so cool being young. Don't brag. Being old is something you want to be. It's a goal. It's the only thing you make fun of somebody for a goal that they have. The only other option is death.
That's fair.
Anyway,
No,
what did TikTok star Charlie D'Amelio get named after her last year? A, a limited edition Dunkin' Donuts drink. B, nail polish. C, a barn owl at Connecticut's Beardsley Zoo. D, a newly discovered moth.
Okay, I think she's endorsed by Dunkin' Donuts.
Really?
Well, I like Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay, sure.
But I don't know. I didn't really listen to the rest.
I felt like nail polish was the.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
I would have gone with the owl, but go with Duncan.
We're really.
I'm gonna need an
split
answer,
here.
Are you guys sure? Are you sure about
You
that?
guys are acting.
No, we
you
are
guys acting
absolutely
like
not
Gen X
sure.
right now.
I'm gonna
Pick
give
an
you guys
answer.
a hint. Moth.
It was the only one none of us thought.
It's the one. The moth.
It's the moth.
Incorrect. It was Dunkin' Donuts.
Dirty over here.
They're sneaky. Sneaky fucking generation.
It's the greatest generation never would have done
It's
that.
bad you guys couldn't get the first one. You
Hey.
okay.
Tommy got it.
It's outwit, outlast.
They-
It's wit, outplay, outlast. All right.
Confidence.
But now I feel bad. You know,
We just gaslighted.
Our
you guys.
Gen Z
was
co-host
genius.
is going to take the rest.
That was genius.
gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. We're killing it.
All right. Next up, for our Gen Z crew, which is not a real episode of MTV's seminal reality TV show True Life? Is it A, True Life, I'm obsessed with my dog?
No.
That's a real one.
B, True Life, I'm a Staten Island girl. C,
Ew.
True Life, I hate my face. D, True Life, I'm horny in Miami.
Ew.
That one.
Or is it E, true life, all the above?
All the above, 110%.
Wait, no, you're saying which isn't.
No, which is not.
Espérate, what?
Wait.
Our education
which
system.
is
That's
a
a
real
good point. That's a
which
good
is
point.
not
Really good
all
point.
of
They
the-
raise a good
which
point.
is not all of the above.
That's trying to trick us. I don't like
Do it on the
You
fly.
got it. It was all the above.
Yeah, all of those are definitely episodes. True Life
All
was
right.
brazy.
Here we go.
MTV.
Like
All right.
lawyers
MTV,
over here. That was
MTV.
really.
You
Your
don't
Honor.
know. You have no idea.
Your Honor.
You have no idea what it was like.
Really?
You have no idea what it was like. All right.
Before ridiculous.
It was good for a while.
Jersey Shore, right?
To my
Great show.
to my
About that.
What
all
do you
right.
got?
Next question. Who is Jack Harlow?
Oh.
For us?
He's a rapper.
Yeah.
He's a rapper.
He's a rapper.
You got it.
There's a
He's friends with
He's
Jake.
also set to make his acting debut in a remake of White Men Can't Jump, even
Stop
after
it.
seeing what happened
What?
to Harry Styles. Yeah.
He's brave.
Apparently redoing
Jack
that.
is going to be
I
an
knew that,
actor
yeah.
now?
I'm learning it from this card.
Jack, if
You
you're
should
glad
ask.
to
You
be
should
with
ask them
us.
the original cast of White Men Can't Jump.
Who is the original
How
cast
about
of
that?
White Men
Don't,
Can't
I
Jump?
don't
even know that movie.
No, the one that was Blade.
Yep.
Yep.
He's a king.
Yes.
Somebody give me a Wesley Snipes. I knew that.
Yep.
And the other one.
You're not.
Oh my God!
Thank you
so
so
What-
much.
what-
We
have
love
you-
our
Okay.
audience
But
members.
see,
I've seen it. I've seen it because it's a
Ken
classic.
Jennings doesn't tolerate this
Classic.
shit.
Thank you. I love you. You get a hug.
Okay. All
Next
right.
up,
Yep.
whom did Britney Spears famously kiss at the 2003
Oh,
VMA?
Madonna.
Yeah.
That's correct. Who then kissed Christina Aguilera seconds later? John, Dan, Tommy, please explain how the Be Real app works. You just have to explain it. We're just
Oh.
going to judge it.
Who's on Be Real?
Okay.
Don't tell them. Don't.
Okay.
Everyone, be
Okay.
cool.
You post
How
it
does it
once a
work?
day.
You take a picture
At like a time when it
and
tells
it
you.
posts automatically, and you can't do anything about it. It's out there because it's supposed
Except
to be.
that like you have a ton that you can do about it. You fucking stage that shit. And
Right. But it's
Anything
not.
else about it?
Anything else about it?
Alicia, can you
You
talk?
do it once a day, right? Is that right?
Did we get there?
I'm gonna say incorrect. I mean, it was. You think it was close enough? It was good. You think it was good? All right.
Once a
What,
day.
what's wrong? Was someone fill us
You
in?
think it was right or wrong?
I think it was wrong. I'm sorry.
So why? So you would tell us what it is.
So Be Real is an amazing app, right?
Okay, they don't pay for this. They're
No,
fine.
they're not-
It's
okay,
another terrible thing we're doing to ourselves.
Yeah,
Speaking
it's
to
dumb. Unless you want to sponsor us, Be Real. Thank you. It's the fact. It's an app that comes. It gives you notification once a day, and it
At a
tells you-
random point.
Random point that you don't know when it's gonna be, and they also like they do
It takes a picture from the front and the back.
at the same time, and you can
That's
retake
what we
it, but it
missed.
also shows the people how many times you retake
Yeah.
the photo.
Oh.
And it
All
shows
right, it's
whoever
everyone at the same
screenshots.
time. It's
Yes.
everyone that is doing Be Real at the exact same
Yeah.
moment.
Yes.
So in New York right now, if you'll Be Real will happen, and then it looks like a fucking
Flash
Black
mob.
Mirror episode.
Yeah, it is a Black Mirror episode.
All right, now. All right, so I feel like they got close enough.
I don't-
Generosity.
Half.
I don't
Whatever.
think we got it.
Fine.
That's a
I'll
half
give back.
point.
I'll give back to the community.
right.
Let's give them a point.
Now, over to you. Your question. Please explain the Y2K problem.
Y'all were crazy and thought the world was finna end because it was gonna be 000. Was that the whole thing?
No,
Nope.
2012.
Damn.
Basically, right?
2012.
2012. Wasn't it gonna-
Espérate. Let me try again. So y'all thought that y'all's computers and stuff, you know, like the geriatric people, they thought like 200 wasn't gonna work
Your
on like
mom's
your
not
phones
happy
and
with you.
computers. My mom's
phones.
Your mom's not. happy with you.
and y'all thought that like the world was gonna explode and end because it was gonna be year 200 or 2000.
I would have given that answer.
First answer was there.
Yeah, we were good. You got it.
You nailed
You
it.
got it.
You
Thank
nailed
you.
it.
I was
You're-
fighting for my life. Thank
It's
you.
like, maybe I don't remember Y2K.
Yes, I am.
All right. TikTok
I was
star and
19.
Instagram model Ava Louise.
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know. That one you don't know.
Wow.
So you're not quiet now. All right.
Don't come for fee. Rude.
Went on Dr. Phil after going viral for doing what? A. Successfully chugging a gallon of milk. B. Choreographing sexy dances to Steely Dan songs. C. Licking an airplane toilet seat in a coronavirus challenge video. Or D. Challenging JoJo Siwa to a fight.
Where do you get, Tom?
Lead the way,
Yes.
Tommy.
I feel like I heard about someone licking a toilet seat, and I assume it was this person.
So sure, see.
You got it.
God, you were so
It was a video
online.
in March of 2020.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted.
Brave time to fly.
Ew. During COVID?
Next up. Yeah, exactly.
Like anytime, but also like you took your mask off to
Yeah.
make a
It was gross in 2019. It wasn't cool then. All right, next. Which of the following was not a real early aughts reality show?
What's
like early 2000s.
Okay, got it.
We never came up with a good name for the 00.
You said aughts, and I said,
know we
okay.
didn't have a good name for it.
That's
we never
okay.
cracked it. We
That
never
wasn't
cracked
a
and
good
that
name
wasn't
for
it.
it. That was fun.
It's okay. We're here.
Which of the following was not a real early aughts reality show? A. Mr. Personality, a short-lived dating show hosted by Monica Lewinsky.
No way.
B. Are You Hot? A show where a panel of judges evaluated the sexiness of shirtless men and bikini-clad women with the help of a laser pointer. C. The Swan, a show where women got plastic surgery makeovers and then had to compete in a beauty pageant. Or D. One Man's Trash, a show where a bachelorette had to choose a date based solely on the trash found in her prospective suitor's cars.
I'm sorry.
Or E. Were they all real?
I'm so sorry.
I'm
What
saying-
the hell were you guys thinking back then?
I am telling you right now, 3 of the 4 of those were real.
No
Yes.
way.
Yes, and we only made up one. I'll remind you, it's Mr. Personality, Are You Hot? The Swan, and One Man's Trash.
I think it's Mr. Personality because Miss Monica wouldn't do so.
No way.
She wouldn't. And
No way. I think
No,
it's gonna
don't
have
look
to
at me
be
like
A.
that, John.
Monica Lewinsky.
Incorrect.
Monica Lewinsky had a dating show.
Don't understand. The
How did they get her to
2000s
do that?
You have to understand how bad a time the 2000s were.
Wait, y'all were on drugs,
everyone
right?
George
thought all the
Bush.
problems were solved and that people couldn't be sexist because James Bond could punch women. Like
Wait,
the rules
what?
were
They
weird.
said feminism. You
Yeah.
can punch women now.
it was a tough time. It was
So
a tough
America
time.
like obliterated this woman in the media and then gave her a dating show.
Briefly.
Yeah.
Briefly.
I didn't know that.
I remember the
I didn't know that either.
Swan was so
I would have
dark.
said that. That would have been.
And to everyone listening, we have a pitch deck for One Man's Trash. If anyone networks are interested.
I feel like that's what The Bachelor is right now. Like, what?
Yeah. Which?
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
I
be
know.
supportive.
Yucking it up.
Just trying to
I
encourage.
appreciate it.
Obviously, everyone knows I don't watch The Bachelor. It's not a queer space. What? Not. All right. Which hairstyle has Gen Z summarily canceled? A, the side part, B, the center part, C, ponytail, or D, bangs?
I think it's the side part.
I think
Right?
side part.
I think
Yeah.
side
You
part.
got it. You got it.
Ah.
They
Alicia
know
with a
too
side
much.
part right now.
And also me with the side part.
All right.
I'm
Let's do. All right, here we go. Which TV personality testified before the House Appropriations Committee on behalf of music education in 2002? A, Paris Hilton, B, Elmo, C, Paula Abdul, or D, Tyra Banks?
Who did?
Who did?
It's either Tyra or Elmo.
Can we actually make it?
I felt that in my spirit.
It's either
I feel
Tyra
Sesame
or
Street does
Elmo.
really good
If you
work.
can you
Elmo.
name this episode? It's either Tyra or Elmo.
I think.
I need an answer.
Espérate, Tyra or Elmo?
Or is it Abdul?
No.
Okay.
Even though she's a dance icon and choreographer.
What if it's Paris Hilton?
I'm gonna go Elmo.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Thank you so much.
All right, one
Sesame
more
Street does good
question.
work.
One more question for our 1980s boys. Which of the
1980s?
following... Dan got quiet. Yep.
Wow.
All right. Which of the following was not a real storyline on Riverdale?
Oh, no.
A, Jughead fakes its own death. B, Archie fights a bear. C, Veronica performs Jailhouse Rock for Archie outside his juvenile detention center.
That's real.
D, everybody joins an organ harvesting cult. Or E, none of the above, they're all real.
What was the drug they took called? Like yin yang or some shit?
Tell me.
Something like that.
Jingle.
Jingle jangle. Thank you.
How?
I know this from listening to Keep It.
I was like, how do you know this stuff?
Yeah,
I've
I
never
don't watch
seen
that
Riverdale
shit.
in
Like,
my
I
life.
watch
How does he know
Riverdale.
this stuff?
So we just go with E.
Tommy.
Who's
Duty.
your best friend Gen Zer?
Wait, you should hang out with us.
I
You
would-
want to come on Dare We Say?
If you guys want to hang out
He's
between like
so-
6 and 8 p.m., I would love to. It would be-
Yeah.
Tommy's an early to bed, early to rise type.
Got it. Well,
Really turn up hours there.
What do you think, Gen Zer?
all the above.
That's correct. It is all of the above. It's all of the above, which is none of the above. They're all real. It's the golden age of scripted television. Final question for Gen Z. This is for everything because we're tied. I don't know.
Shut up.
You made that up.
You made the
I got
stakes go
excited.
all the way up.
Who or what? Now I'll do it like this.
Okay.
If you can tell me without the clues, you win outright. Okay?
Wow.
Wow, we take it all home.
Who or what was T9? What was T9? T9, it was something. Let me tell you,
weird.
I'll just give you
That's
some
good.
hints.
That's
I'm going to try to
good.
hint. It is not a spray.
Alicia, wait,
Don't
listen.
guess just yet. It is not a spray. I'll tell you this. Here's the thing. It was something everybody used. It was absolutely terrible. And yet we all thought it was amazing. It was on our phones. It was how we texted.
It's the. Wait a damn minute. It's the thing. Oh shit.
T9, is it like it's a program or something?
No, isn't it like the thing that like a
It's-
pager?
No,
That's a sidekick.
No.
It was. I'll give you the hint. Is it A boy band?
No.
I've already gone beyond the text. Is it a C, a pre-smartphone predicting? Is it? It's this dumb thing from your phone. You got it. It was basically, just so you know, when we first got cell phones,
Right.
you could text, but you only had the numbers. And so you would type using the numbers, but it would help you by predicting what word was next.
Oh, I had that on my old flip phone.
Sure.
Way in the day,
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
70 years ago. Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
All right, Bob.
Elise's-
Nobody needed to know that. My first phone had an antenna.
Hold on. Sorry. Just
No, John. You can sit over
Hi,
here. You can
what-
sit over
can
here.
you just no? So just first of all, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Cammie. I'm Alicia's birth mom and Yaz's adoptive mom as of right now.
Thank you.
Nice. And
I love my parents.
you're saying that Alicia knows about this technology called T9, this ancient
I actually
technology.
So
Alicia, can you please be quiet? I'm having a conversation with your mother.
This is so unfair. You would never have this power if she wasn't.
You can just tell people be quiet all the time because you say it in Spanish as if that's better. It's not. It's equally rude. It's just rude in another language. Sorry. So sorry.
and I taught you better than that.
Wow. And she
This
had
is
a
work discrimination in her.
and she had a T9 phone.
So in 5th grade, we gave her my mom's old cell phone,
Oh, that
and
makes
she
sense.
wouldn't
My
know about it
abuela.
because she refused to use it. She would leave it at the bottom of her book bag and say that she couldn't find it.
It had
And
an
that was-
antenna.
And that was
Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling?
And that's the
Why are you
way.
yelling?
That's the way she got convinced us to buy her another type of phone.
No, I
But she
saved up
refused
for
to
my
use it.
iPhone.
So she
with modeling
gaslit
money.
you,
She refused to
Cammy.
use it.
Cammy, she gaslit you. We can talk about it.
Absolutely. That's
On
her
next
thing.
episode of Dare We Say, we
I'll be a
discuss
guest.
Alicia.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're all
Good
out of
promo.
time. We're all out of time.
John, how dare you? You could have never.
You
Thanks for
listen.
that.
Listen. You brought your mom to the show. What's
Yeah,
going to
what are
happen?
you gonna expect?
True.
Gen Z, dare we say, you've won. You've won the game. Alicia, Yasmin, thank you so much for being here.
Unbelievable.
That's our show. Thank you to Elizabeth Warren, John Legend, Sam Sanders, Yasmin Hamidi, Alicia Pascual Pena, and a big thank you to SiriusXM for hosting us. Everyone from Vote Save America who came to the crowd. And check us out on Crooked Radio every weekend through the election on SiriusXM satellite radio. Thanks, everyone.
Yay.